Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Bank Shot DJs podcast with your boys, Denny and Shrine. Denny, what is good?
What's going on, man? Monday, November 4th, 7:38 p.m. NBA has finally started, and this is what we live for, Matt. We cannot be more excited right now.
We've been watching games almost every single day for the last 2 weeks, and it feels so goddamn good.
Today, even, how many games are there going on right now? It's a crazy slate
so
today.
My Thunder are playing right now.
Yeah, I think the Suns, they started their game.
I think they just started, yeah.
Yep, so,
crazy Brooklyn game that just ended.
Yep.
And then crazy Cavs, Bucks game. So many insane games going on right now.
And with that, there's just so much to talk about. So we're ready to dive into some topics tonight.
Yes, sir. Denny, what do we got?
For those who don't know, our teams, Matt's team is the Thunder. My team is the Suns. We're going to give our first impressions with those teams, see how they're looking.
Yep.
And then with such an exciting start we've been talking about, there's so much to talk about. We wish we could sit here for hours and talk about everything, but we can't. So we picked a couple things that we found most interesting in the season, and we're going to discuss those things. But Matt, let's just start with our routine tradition.
Our tradition. So if you're first time on the podcast, we're called the Bank Shot DJs for a reason, and that reason is to take a shot every single episode on this podcast until the great NBA or the great association brings back the team that we all love so dearly in the Pacific Northwest that even greats among greats miss, and such a part of history. The Seattle Supersonics need to come back to this great association, and I will not stop until they come. We will not stop taking these shots until they come back to this great association. We talked about in the Lost podcast about the Rain City Classic that was here, the showcase, and it's just unwavering support for the team to come back. So keep supporting. All Seattle greats want it. All former NBA greats want it. We want it so badly. We have our hat here. We have our boys on here. Denny's new hat up here. We got going.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this shot's for the Sonics, baby. Let's bring them back.
Bring them back. Let's get it, baby.
Woo! All right, Denny, let's get into it.
All right, so we're going to be brief about it, but we're just going to go over our first impressions of our teams. Matt, let's start with you. I don't think you could have asked for a better start from the Thunder right now. They're rolling. Can anyone stop them? I'm not sure. What are your first impressions right now? About 8 games in.
First team in NBA history to go 6-0 with all wins, going 12+ points of a margin. Draymond Green said it best on the podcast that we have the most talented team. Like, there's the only person that I don't want coming off the bench is Kenneth Williams. Okay, he's been injured anyway, so I haven't had to worry about it. But every single person on the bench, we even have Isaiah Hartenstein that's been out. Jay Will, our former second-round pick, he's been out as well. So we're missing 2 big guys that play a key role on our bench and just our big size depth, and still just looking unstoppable. We've had, obviously in every game you have your ups and downs, and so you've had a few quarters that just don't look very good, and we got steamrolled by the Clippers in the second quarter this last weekend, but third quarter came around and they went right back to business and just steamrolled them back. They have the most efficient defense in the league. They're insane on the steals. Chet's leading the league in blocks. It's just, and I said he was the most improved player nominee for this year because of that reason. He's literally just looks like he's going to work, head down. And I think the biggest thing for me is you have people like Isaiah Joe, you have people like Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace, all these guys that on other teams would be very severely underlooked. But I think the biggest thing is just this team mentality is insane, and everybody keeps on giving their full effort, and just the effort on the court looks different from other teams. And that's really good from a team standpoint. That really makes me so happy to see. And we're going to get a loss. There's no one going to go 82-0. But one of the last teams to go 6-0 to start the season was the Cavs team that beat the 24-0 start Warriors back in the 2016-17 season. And the Cavs ended up winning that championship. I'm not saying anything yet, but I cannot be any happier just to even know that we still got guys like Isaiah Hartenstein coming back. So I could go on and on forever, but there's my quick gist of it, Denny.
Going off what you said about mentality and giving it 100%, I've mentioned it before, but I feel like it's so prevalent, I got to say it again. I really feel like this team, the whole team, is just a brotherhood.
Yeah, and they show
all,
that.
Yeah, they all play for each other. They play for one of another. They trust each other on the court, and that gives them the ability to make that extra pass, give guys like Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, all these guys the opportunity to step up and play well. And then another thing is that's scary about this team is they're the youngest team in the league, which means all these guys are still developing, working on their game. And I mean, they finished first in the West last year, and it only looks like they're getting better. Chet has had a very impressive start to the year.
Insane.
And so, yeah, this team is pretty scary right now.
Yeah, and they're beating the Magic right now. I'm not sure what the score is right now. I don't have it up, but I'm not worried. Feels good. I'm not gonna be quick on saying have expectations. Obviously, every single season expectations, championship or nothing. But I'm excited. I finally have a team that does not look like it's in shambles right now, and I'm gonna be riding that for a while because almost every other team of mine in sports, even in college, just is not great like this team is, and it's a relief, stress off my shoulders.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Suns, how about them?
I think they, it's a small sample size, but I feel like they've been looking better.
Yeah,
they've been improving. I think one thing I've noticed is they've had a couple games where they're down big, maybe halftime, third quarter. Usually they just kind of fall apart, lose the game. They've actually come back, and I think 1-2 games in that type of scenario so far. And I think the main thing I've noticed is just their fourth quarter scoring, which has been, the focal point of their issues.
We talked about it so much last season about how they were the worst fourth quarter team in the NBA last season, and they've really improved on that.
They're currently 11th right now in fourth quarter scoring.
Hey, we'll take it from bottom to the top.
We'll take it. They're 6th right now in threes made per game and percentage, which I was talking about Mike Budenholzer and his offensive play style. I think that had a lot to do with that. And they're 8th overall in plus minus. I think that's what I'm most impressed about. And I think a lot has to do with the addition of Tyus Jones. We talk about his assist to turnover ratio, currently top 5 in the league. Just having that type of presence on the floor, being able to help facilitate, kind of lead that offense. And then last thing is I've just been impressed by Ryan Dunn, their rookie. Didn't really have a 3-point shot. Wasn't really much of a scorer, known for his defense. And he's been getting the opportunity to start and has been taking advantage. He's hitting the threes when he's getting the opportunity. He's been playing really good on-ball defense. The stats may not show it, but he's forcing guys to take tough shots. He's forcing guys to pick up their dribble. So I've been impressed with him. I've been impressed with the Suns. Obviously, it's a long season. Things can turn, but good start.
We'll talk more about rookies, but he is currently 6th in rookies points per game. With 7.8.
Yep, impressive.
So, especially on what round pick? Where was he picked at? Do you remember?
I think he was their first rounder, but I think that was
like a late first rounder, right?
Yeah, late first rounder.
Yeah. So, and it's impressive. And rookie talk's a big thing we're going to be talking about here soon.
Yep.
But the biggest thing for me with the Suns, what I love the most is that they played those back-to-back games against the Lakers. That first game they lost against the Lakers, and they were up by. I texted you about it during the game, but they were up by 20 or 30 something points in the second quarter.
Yep.
And then the Lakers just crawled back in the second and at the end of the second and the third, and then won that game. But the fact that they took that and then beat them the second game out of that just tells me how resilient they are. So that was a huge thing for me to see. Just the fact that they're not going to let that be their identity this season.
Yep. So good first impressions looking into those teams. Let's move on to the next topic, Matt. We got a lot of teams, a lot of things to talk about.
Yep.
First, let's talk about a team that's been healthy to start the season. They've been playing well. Their record might not reflect it right now, but all of their losses have been close, including the loss tonight to the Nets. But this team is the Memphis Grizzlies, Matt. They're looking pretty good right now.
It feels so good. We talked about them preseason. We talked about them last year of even how much we love them, even though they were injured. But everything looks so great. You have 2 outstanding rookies with Zach Edey and Jalen Wells there. That's really getting a lot of minutes. Jalen Wells is getting 25 minutes per game right now, which is insane. It's top 3 or top 4 out of rookies right now. So you have that, and then Zach Edey with the size to help out Jaren Jackson Jr. and Brandon Clark being healthy, who used to be G League MVP, Summer League MVP back when he was a rookie, and he was such a big part. And he was also out all last season.
Yep.
And it's massive. This rotation they have is really helping them out. And I think they had just some close losses, so just little adjustments here and there. and they're figuring out, like they said, they had Jalen Wells was coming off the bench originally, but he was starting tonight, I believe.
Yep, he started a couple games this year. He's been
started
getting
a
the
couple games now.
opportunity. He's been taking it well. I think as he keeps playing better and better, gain more opportunities.
Yeah.
It's kind of that more of that sense of trust. You know, the staff is trusting him more out there on the floor.
Yep.
And so, really great opportunity right now for Jalen Wells. Love to see it.
I just think this coaching is just making its adjustment to see what their best lineup looks like, and I love it. And yeah, there's a couple close losses, and before the season, I would say this Nets team is a bad loss, but the Nets are looking good. They're surprising me a lot. I said a lot in the preseason how I thought they're going to be the worst team this year, and I still think they need to be a lottery team for the future. But they're looking good, and we can talk about them a little bit too. But
yeah. The Grizz have been looking well. You know, they're 6th in scoring right now. They're 1st in assists, and I think a lot of that has to do with Ja. Ja's healthy.
Back, baby.
He's averaging almost, I think, 10 assists a game.
He's healthy. He's not getting suspended.
Yep. And the offense really flows well when he's there. You know, you have Desmond Bane.
The ball so well.
Yep. Desmond Bane's a good 3-point shooter. A lot of their role players have been stepping up. Scottie Pippen Jr.
Yep.
has been playing really well.
Adija? No.
Santi Aldama. I think he's their 3rd leading scorer right now. He's been playing really well.
He's been awesome.
Yep.
So all these guys are stepping up, and it's just it's nice to see. I'm not even a Grizz fan. I actually hated them for such a long time, but I love all these guys on this team right now, and everybody's stepping up and they're just contributing, and they remind me of the Thunder of the depth they have.
Yeah,
in a way, and so.
We've mentioned it in the last episode. We've seen this team when they're healthy, where they can be in the West in the standings. So let's see if they can keep this going and get back up there in the standings.
Yeah, they're currently 6th in the Western Conference at 4-3. And
yep.
Like literally 2 of those losses could be easily wins just with one simple decision. So
yep.
They're on 2-game win streak. Well, besides the Nets loss tonight, but.
And some good wins against, I think it was Milwaukee and Philadelphia. Yeah. So some solid wins. And those were both like 20-point wins. So
yeah,
solid play for the Grizz. Let's move over to the Eastern Conference real quick, Matt. You know, some of these reactions topics are, kind of our way too early reactions or predictions like we want to talk about. Matt, let's look at the Raptors. Let's look at their 2nd-year player, Grady Dick. Can we be potentially seeing a breakout year from him right now?
Well, the sad thing is we were huge on Scotty Barnes, and he had to sadly go out with a face injury.
Yeah, I think it was like the orbital fracture.
Yep. Which was sad to see, but that's part of the game is just seeing the next guy step up, and Grady Dick is that guy for Toronto right now. He's killing it. 21 points per game right now, playing 32 minutes. And it's kind of crazy to see this because he did not play as well as they thought he should have last year as a rookie.
Yep.
So to see him really step up, he must have done something right this offseason, but he does not look like at all the same player that he was last year for how high he was drafted and how hyped he was to be here. So he's shown up.
Yeah, as you mentioned, being able to step into the starting lineup, getting that opportunity, he's definitely taking advantage of it. And I feel like, every game he plays, he's getting better, smarter out there, really has the opportunity to make that sophomore leap that they talk about.
Yeah.
He's been impressive, knocking down his threes. I think like you said, kind of a slow start and slow overall year for him last year. There was a lot of hype coming into the year for him, but he's definitely been in the lab working on his game. And that team's been pretty hurt too. RJ Barrett was hurt for a while, quickly still out, so he's definitely been taking opportunity of
Kelly Olynyk's
those
been
minutes.
out.
Kelly Olynyk's been out. Yeah.
Just stepping up. He had 2 30-point back-to-back games against the Hornets and Lakers.
Yeah.
He's shooting 37% from 3, like you were saying, which is really good. That's what averages are going to end up at the end of the season anyways. So to do that right now, it's good. Keep that pace and just continue to be that next guy to step up. And he's playing against good teams here. And I had them really low in my preseason rankings as well. But they could be a surprise in the East here, especially when Scotty Barnes comes back.
Yep.
And they have RJ Barrett healthy too. This team could be a sneaker.
Yeah, definitely a topic we'll come back to and a team we'll come back to and talk about. Matt, let's stay on the topic of rookies, though. We've had some good play from some rookies. Let's talk about it. Who has stood out to you so far this season?
First off, we know coming into the season, it was talked about so much of how lacking, how undervalued this rookie class is. It's the most underwhelming we've seen in a long time. And honestly, to start, it's been kind of underwhelming. But what I love about it is that it's guys, because of it's so underwhelming of all those top picks, that all these guys that were late draft picks that are just kind of emerging like crazy. Like we talk about so much because we're such huge Coug guys. Go Cougs, baby.
Yes, sir. Go Cougs.
Jalen Wells coming off the bench, now becoming a starter in the Memphis Grizzlies. We'll not talk about enough.
Nope.
We'll talk about almost every podcast. I'm sorry. I don't care. He's amazing. He was the first. I was reading the stat of like how late into the season before the first rookie scores their first 20-point game. He was the first rookie this year to score a 20-point game in the 5th game, which is like the first time since like 2008 or something like that, which has been a long time. And so it just kind of shows you this rookie class in general, but Jalen Wells is doing awesome. Carlton Carrington, also a late round pick for the Wizards. Even though Wizards have their first round pick, Alex Sarr, number 2 overall, who's also doing really good, who's averaging 2.8 blocks per game, but, only averaging about not a whole lot on the points part of it, but just guys stepping up left and right. You have people that are not really, like you talk about Ryan Dunn. Awesome. Russ Ashir, he's still getting the hang of it, but he also has Trae Young, who's leading the league in assists right now, which is kind of helping him out quite a bit.
And I think he's shown his potential at times, and then he's also shown that he's still learning a lot.
Yeah.
But he's shown, that he's definitely got some potential.
Yeah, him. Talk a little about my Thunder guys. You had AJ Mitchell coming off the bench for the Thunder, who scored almost 20 points in like the third quarter or whatever. Didn't even really they put him up in a game where it was kind of close, and he came in and absolutely killed it. And so they've been splitting minutes between him and Dylan off the bench too. So that's been awesome for me to see. You have Stephon Castle, who's still kind of trying to find his place in the Spurs team, which is already a struggling team to begin with. Now you have Chris Paul there kind of facilitating the floor. So I still think there's a lot of time for Stephon Castle to kind of figure out where he's going to fit in there. You also have Wemby, who, every announcer, every time you listen to it, is like, just give Wemby the ball, which is a great strategy. I'm not going to lie, but I want to see Stephon Castle kind of find his way. I don't think he knows where he fits into this offense yet, so I think that's a big thing. Any rookies stepping out to you?
We were just watching that game. We talked about him as a potential for Rookie of the Year, and that's Zach Edey.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? He had 23 and 11 tonight with 4 or 5 blocks. Just watching the first couple of games playing with Ja, I think that Ja's playmaking and just his overall game is going to open up so much opportunity for Edey, because that pick and roll game is so scary with what Ja can do. You can throw a lob to Edey. We've already seen how tall he is. He can still just shoot over guys. So he's definitely been looking impressive. I think he's been getting more minutes and more opportunities as he gets more comfortable out there. But I've been impressed with Edey so far as well.
Yeah, he's only averaging 19 minutes per game right now, and he's leading all rookies in scoring at 11.1 points per game right now. We talked about him. The fact that he was drafted so late is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
2-time player of the year in for the national or for NCAA, and here he is still leading all rookies. So it's kind of just a show of why people fell on him, but it also is just like we talked about, the Memphis Grizzlies, just that rotation and everything like that. So I think it's a really good spot for him to be at. And then I also kind of want to talk about, the Lakers. Don't Connect was their draft pick, but also Bronny James doing horrible. I thought this funny clip of when the Lakers are playing the Suns, and it's Bronny James is shooting a free throw, absolute bricks it, and it just zooms into D-Book's face on the bench. He just says, "He just ain't good, bro." It's just it was obviously a lip reading, but it was just so funny. You could easily tell that's what he was saying. Yeah, I would not be surprised. I'm just kind of just waiting for when Bronny James gets sent down to G League.
It's only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time.
But
You made LeBron happy. You got your father-son duo now. Do what's best for your team.
That'll do it.
Also, who's the guy that they just called up?
Christian Coloco.
Coloco, he's not a rookie?
No, he was in Toronto last year.
He's been injury riddled.
Yeah,
I don't think he's really played.
Yeah, I would say I think he's 6'10", 6'11", but he's got a very long wingspan. He's a great defender. Kind of one of those tall, lengthy forward centers, so he can really affect the game defensively. Great paint presence, both offensively and defensively. With the facilitating of LeBron, if he can, start getting involved with that, always a nice addition. So it'll be interesting to see how he's going to do. But definitely a nice addition for the Lakers.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that to kind of help AD get some pressure off him, which
Yep.
I'll talk about AD in a second. But the other kind of rookie thing that I was looking at is Toronto has 3 rookies averaging around 17, 15, 18 minutes per game that are just contributing. They have Mogbo, Battle, and Jamal Sheed. They're just contributing. It's kind of talking about that depth that they've kind of had a need to bring up. So that's kind of interesting to see that you have 3 rookies coming off the bench that are getting some minutes. So other than that, there's still a lot of Donovan Clingan. I'm still waiting to see him get going. He's in a shitty situation with Portland right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be always a tough one.
But behind DeAndre Ayton and that's just a shitty situation for him right now. But I think he'll be good. And then, like I said, the boys, Dylan Jones and AJ Mitchell from Thunder, and then Jared McCann has been pretty good shooting for the Sixers as well.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest opportunity for him. Is just he's such a lights out 3-point shooter, especially when he's feeling it. Guy got a Hall of Fame microwave badge.
Yep.
And so taking advantage of that can help you see an uptick in minutes and some trust on the team.
Yeah, his 3-point percentage is not great right now. It's only 20%, but I think you just got to give him some time.
Yeah, it'll take some time. Yeah,
but
smaller guard too, so being able to find your shot.
I mean, Paul George comes back tonight too.
He does. Yes, he does.
So maybe that will help him just kind of get more confidence in his game and
open up the floor for him more. Yeah, from PG's playmaking and facilitating.
Yeah.
But
that's all I got for rookie updates.
Yeah, of course, this is going to be a topic we will be discussing throughout the season, especially as we get closer, to All-Star break and the end of the year to go over, the end of the year awards. Matt, in the Eastern Conference, despite the departure of Mikal Bridges, the Brooklyn Nets have been playing well. They just got another win tonight against the Grizzlies. What do you like? What do you like most right now from this Brooklyn team to start off the year?
Cam Thomas, man, he's top 5 in total points right now. He's insane. Cameron Johnson's been really good too. They're just figuring out a way. Dennis Schroeder, he's been tossed around so much. He's former Thunder, former Laker. He was on so many teams, the Hawks. He's just kind of like, I feel like he's games kind of compared to like Chris Paul as of now, not former Chris Paul, but in a way, but he's just going to all these teams and he's really just being facilitated no matter where he's at. And he's leading the league in assists right now for this in total assists. And so he's just up there. He's kind of just helping facilitate this young team, super young, and they're just finding a way, man. And I kind of love it.
Yeah, I feel like I know
I shit talk them, but I love it.
I feel like every team Schroeder goes to, he has a very solid role on that team. Like you said, great facilitator, and he's been a bucket too. He's averaging almost 20 a game. Just a great overall presence to have on the team. Like you were saying, Cam Thomas, we've been knowing this. He's a bucket. Like you're saying, he's averaging 26 and a half right now. Like you said, Cam Johnson, he's really stepped up his game. The team is 8th in 3-point shooting, and so that really helps with their scoring. Their issue right now is just they're giving up too many rebounds, too many second chance opportunities.
Yeah.
A little bit of a smaller team. You need guys like Claxton to really be able to help protect that paint. So that's just the one issue I see, but I've been impressed with the start for this team so far.
Yeah, they've been killing it. Sorry, I was trying to pull up some of their stats a little bit. But yeah, Cam Thomas averaging 26.6. Claxton, it was 7.2 rebounds, which needs to go up. You're not going to have all the top teams right now or have a rebounder that's averaging over 10 or at least 9. So you need to get the second chance points. One guy we talked about a little bit this preseason is Dorian Finney-Smith.
DFS. Yes, sir.
Surprised the hell out of me.
Didn't they say he had 5 threes tonight?
Yeah, he did have 5 threes tonight. He was insane. So just like I said, just you want next guy after next guy.
He's also a pretty solid perimeter defender too.
Yeah.
So he's a nice 2-way player for that team.
We forgot about Ben Simmons, but did we really?
I think I just saw an update about him about how you might see him play 1 or 2 games a week. It's all just maintenance based with that guy. So
he started 6 games.
Yeah.
He's averaging 5.8 points, which is not even.
He just doesn't. He doesn't shoot at all.
Nope.
He just needs to be more aggressive.
He's averaging 6 rebounds, 6.2 assists. So he's being a facilitator, but
he fills the stat sheet for me in fantasy.
Yeah,
a little bit.
A little bit.
So,
but just interesting to see. I guess. It's so funny that I don't know. it doesn't feel real that he's playing,
I know.
and he's not really showing up. But
Yeah.
yeah, these guys are just kind of stepping up, and I kind of love it.
Yeah.
I love Cam Johnson. I love Cam Thomas. Those guys are going to be a future for the Nets. I hope they don't trade either of those guys. So I think those are really good foundation pieces for them. But we'll see what happens.
And I feel like this is definitely just a kind of a morale booster for the team overall.
Yeah,
being able
time.
to play this well just after the departure of Bridges, kind of knowing that the team now is kind of in like rebuild or we got to figure it out mode. And so to have them be playing well, producing like this so far has got to be, confidence booster for the team. Interested to see how like the next 10, 15 games go for these guys. Yeah,
but like I said it earlier, they're going to need to be a lottery pick. I think Cam Johnson and Cam Thomas are not enough to.
No.
They have to be a lottery team, and I'm glad they're having success right now. Kind of like, I don't know. They need to figure something out. What their next move is going to be, I have no idea. We're going to have to trade some of these guys. I really hope it's not those two specifically, but I hope they figure something out. So,
yeah.
Good for them to coming out fighting in the East right now, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see what they're doing. Yeah. Let's hop back over to the West, Matt. New player, new team, has been killing it so far. They say he's been lighting the beam, and that is DeMar DeRozan.
He's killing your ass in fantasy right now.
He is killing my ass in fantasy right now.
I drafted DeMar DeRozan on our fantasy team, by the way, and I'm playing Denny this week. So, interesting matchup we got, but he is killing it. Him and De'Aaron Fox are respectively 2 and 4 in steals per game right now. He's looking like his old self again, man. It's so exciting to see. I had some insane stats about him, but I can't find them right now. But he is just killing it.
I think to have a defensive-minded forward like that, when you have guys like Monk and then Fox and then Sabonis, Keegan Murray, really good team defensively. Great addition for this guy. Right
now. Yeah, Sabonis leading the league in rebounds again. Watch him not make the All-Star. And then you have like De'Aaron Fox absolutely balling, DeMar DeRozan. You have all these guys averaging about over 20 a night, you know? And so it's insane. I'm loving it. So keep it going.
I was saying before the season, on paper, this team looks like it's supposed to be really good, and they've been panning out so far. Just the playmaking overall from DeMar DeRozan, like we talked about too, his fourth quarter play, known for his clutch points, just being able to have that addition, have that guy available down in the clutch. We already know what De'Aaron can do in the clutch, Sabonis. So just a great addition for this Kings team.
Yeah, so he's leading the team for the Kings in 25.3 points per game right now. And like I said, De'Aaron Fox averaging 23.5 and Domantas Sabonis averaging 21.5. So they're all, it's such, we talked about him in the preseason, and we're so far on the dot. He's going to really help this team elevate. I think this will be the difference, and because they played in that play-in game last year and lost to the Pelicans in the second one.
Yeah.
And I think this, right now, I'm 100% taking this Kings team over the Pelicans.
100%.
Zion's shooting horrifically. He's one of the least efficient shooters in the NBA right now, and he's still averaging over 20 points, but still not to digress a little bit. He's doing amazing. Domantas averaging 6.3 assists, leading the team for them as well. And like we said, 6th man of the year candidate, Malik Monk coming off so good. Keegan Murray just letting Keegan Murray shoot from three, just kind of just handing the ball. It's so great. I just loving it. It's Kings team's exciting. I love it.
Yeah, definitely exciting team. We'll be monitoring that team as well because we love our boy Sabonis. Light the beam.
Watch Starting Five.
Watch
Starting Five on Netflix. We've got the lineup for next year. It's going to be really good with Harden, Shea, Jalen Brown, a few other guys.
Kevin Durant.
We're excited for that. But I just started watching this season that came out recently. And you have Domantas on there. It's just, I mean, I obviously have been a huge, fan of Sabonis, and been supporting him all last season, even this season. And it just, that show has kind of just showed him how underappreciated he is, man. He is just going hard every single night, and it just seems to be not talked about. And to have DeMar helping him out here, and I'm really excited for this team. Yeah,
it's going to be fun. Before this episode, Matt, maybe like a week ago, I was writing down topic ideas for the pod, and one of them I wrote down was a question. It was, is something brewing in Orlando? And unfortunately, since then, Paulo has went down with an oblique injury. and is sidelined, I think, for like the next 6 to 8 weeks. But before that injury, he was playing out of his fucking mind, and this Magic team was rolling, Matt.
Oh my god, dude! He scored a 50-point game. He was one of the, I forget what the,
wasn't like the second guy since LeBron. It was
something like
50 and some crazy rebound assist stat line.
Dude.
Yeah,
he was just killing it, and then he went down. And biggest,
I didn't even see the injury happen.
I didn't either
in any of the games. I was like really confused, and then they came out with that, and I was like, holy shit!
I forget who it was against, but
it was against the Bulls. Because I think that game was, if you saw that clip where he tried to hit the buzzer beater to tie.
Yeah.
Like he picked it, he like caught it off the inbound and just literally just threw it up, and it went in to tie it, and it was after the buzzer.
That's so tough.
That was insane, by the way. If that had counted, it would have been probably contestant for shot of the year. But like the next day, they came out with saying that he had suffered an oblique injury and he's out. Yeah, like 6 to 8 weeks, I think.
Yeah, and so just kind of like we talked about with Grady Dick, you have to talk about the next man up. And yet again, big fan, Jalen Suggs. I was like, Jalen Suggs, you have to step it up. And he was a second overall pick the year before. His former high school buddy, Chet Holmgren, was a second overall pick. A
fourth round pick in my fantasy league.
Fourth round pick. He was also a pick in my one of my fantasy leagues.
Not by choice, but he's playing well, so I'm sticking with it right now.
Hey, he's averaging 2.1 steals right now, and he's averaging a block as well, leading the team in steals and blocks. And he stepped right up on the next game. He had about 29 points the game after that, and then he's been stepping it up for sure. And so I love to see it. The biggest thing is just getting his 3-point shooting down a little bit, which he's doing better this year. But it's just, talking about the next man up, and he was a second overall pick. And as much as I love him, he does need to be, I think he should be playing better than he has been in the past. Last year, he was a first team all defensive pro, all team defensive. So he's doing it again right now. I'm leading his team in blocks, and I'm not even sure how tall he is. Pretty small, like 6'1", 6'2", but still, defensive presence, but that offensive scoring is just kind of helping out. And you still have the Wagners that are helping him out a lot. They're playing my team right now. I don't even know what the score is. Or we're killing them. But but anyways, yeah, this really sad to see Paulo go down in general. I was going to look at Jalen Wells' points real quick, or Jalen Suggs. He has 15 points right now. Franz Wagner has 22 points right now for that team, even though they're losing 90-76. But anyways,
despite his injury, I still have a lot of excitement for this Magic team, especially when Paulo comes back. We've talked about their team defense, their individual defense. They're a great defensive team. One thing I think we need to see happen is Franz Wagner is going to need to step it up. Yeah, he's going to need to become more aggressive on the offensive side of the ball, and just try to take advantage of it. Create offense through defense. That's probably one of the main things for this team. They have so many good guards that are great at forcing takeaways, just being able to push the break and take advantage of those opportunities. They also have some good 3-point shooters, so just moving the ball around. I'm very excited for this team. I think when Paulo comes back, it'll be interesting to see where the team is at that point when he comes back. Mm-hmm. But if they're kind of level-headed, they were able to stay afloat. I'm excited to see what this team can do in the second half of the season.
I'm not going to hold this game against them. So the 2 of their last 3 games were against the 2 only undefeated teams in the league right now, against the Cavs and the Thunder right now. And so I'm not going to hold these games against them. I think once they get to play a team that's not nearly as good as them, which I'm not sure what their schedule is coming up, but they'll need a couple games to get their confidence up, because that's just hard to switch to that right away. I'm coming up playing these 2 best teams in the league right now. So we'll see what happens. But they're good. I'm excited for them. They're playing the Pacers and the Pelicans. The Pelicans and Wizards and the Hornets, they could really get their mojo back. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. We've mentioned that the Thunder are undefeated so far. There's another team in the Eastern Conference who is undefeated. That is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
8-0 officially tonight. Yep. So they're the first team to get 8-0.
Yep.
Which is insane.
On the topic of way too early reactions, Matt, do you believe in the land?
I do believe in the land. I believed in the land last year. Not as much, but they're looking so good. Now like we talked about a lot, was a very healthy team. You had Jared Allen, who was injured last year. Evan Mobley.
Garland.
Garland been stepping it up, and not even mention Spida by himself, dude, calling game against the Bucks 2 days ago, and then Jared Allen with the block to call game again tonight against the Bucks. So I do believe in them. I still think the Celtics are the team to beat in this, even though they did beat the Celtics. No, they didn't play the Celtics yet. The Pacers beat the Celtics. I believe them. I think they're going to be a top. They're going to be a top 4 or 5 team.
Yep.
In the East for sure. Starting 8-0, you cannot look past that like at all. It's proven time and time again throughout NBA history. A strong start leads to a strong playoff performance in general. So, but I still think the Celtics are still the team to beat. And they don't even have Kristaps Porzingis back. So, but they're playing outstanding right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also believe in the land. Like you were saying last year, they were just plagued with injuries. Guys were out most of the year, and then they ran into the Celtics in the Eastern Conference semis. So it was just tough. But this year, I mean, like we said, healthy. They've been rolling. Donovan Mitchell, I've said it once, I'll say it again.
Also my fantasy team playing against you right now.
Yep, he's in the prime of his career right now. He's only 28 years old. I feel like this guy's not talked about enough. He's a 5-time All-Star. We've seen what he can do in the clutch in both the regular season and the playoffs.
Yep.
Whether he was in Cleveland, whether he was in Utah, the guy has been pissing me off. When he was on Utah, he was pissing me off in the playoffs because he is clutch. And then we talk about Darius Garland. He needed to step up and stay healthy. He had 29 tonight. He's been playing really well, facilitating, being able to break down his defender. And then you just look at that front court too of Mobley and Jared Allen.
Insane.
Rim protectors. Solid guys on the offensive side of the ball. You got Karis LeVert, always in the 6-man talk.
Also in my fantasy team playing against. No, he's out tonight, actually.
Okay.
So
I was going to say, man, you guys are rolling. And then you look at the role players too. Guys have really stepped up. Dean Wade has gotten a lot of minutes and has
not to be confused with D Wade.
Not be confused with D.
Wade.
Yes, Dean.
I saw something about that earlier today.
But he's been playing well. Sam Merrill is a shooter for him.
Yeah.
And so
Isaac Okoro.
Yeah, I didn't even think about him.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this team. Second in scoring and 3-point percentage so far. 5th in steals.
I think I texted you. I was surprised to see the Tristan Thompson's back in the land as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was fun to. I mean, he's only averaging 2.5 points per game right now. In 5 minutes, but it's still funny. He's coming back. It kind of gives him something to root for in other ways, like a veteran player.
Yeah.
But yeah, this team's insane. Donovan Mitchell averaging 24.4. Jared Allen, absolute killer on the board. 11.1 rebounds. He's top 5 in the rebounds right now. Darius Garland, 6.3 assists, which is massive to help just moving the ball. I think all these guys are moving the ball really well.
Yep.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, 4.3 assists. Darius with 6.
That's what they need.
With 2.
Yep.
Karis LeVert with 4 assists per game. And then, you have Mobley with 1.6 blocks per game as well. So just having that healthy duo of Mobley and Jared Allen is insane by itself. But even the backcourt is just, you can trust any of those guys. Donovan, Darius, Karis LeVert, Ty Jerome.
Yep. Seriously, they're all
former Thunder there too.
Yeah, they're all been helping out.
Depth's insane.
Yeah. I just want to add a quick topic because we've been talking about them a little bit, and it's hard not to discuss it a little bit. The Celtics, we've both agreed that they are
they're still my favorite.
They're the clear front runners. Just watching them play, especially opening night, that offense is so fucking efficient. It is insane.
And they don't even have Kristaps back. They just killed Atlanta 123-93.
Jason Tatum is very upset, I think, with a lot of different things and is taking it out on the basketball floor. He is going absolutely ballistic, and it started since opening night when I think he had 7 or 8 threes and was just letting it fly.
He had 28 points tonight along with 9 assists and 6 rebounds.
Oh my God, dude.
And they had an overtime loss against the Pacers early on.
And that's when Siakam was cooking.
I mean, Siakam was killing.
Yeah, I think he was cooking.
That's their only loss so far is that overtime, 135-132 to the wire. So otherwise, they've been cruising. There's literally scoring almost over 120 points every single time.
You talk about just team chemistry. They are the definition of team chemistry, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
Championship last year, and they look like they haven't lost a step at all.
No, actually, I think they've gained a step with Derek White's offensive production.
Oh my God,
I think he is.
Insane.
I don't know if he's second leading scorer right now. It might be Jalen Brown, but
no, I think it's Derek White.
Derek White.
Oh, no, it is. No, it's Jalen Brown. You're right.
And is Derek White averaging like 20 right now?
Yeah, Derek White's averaging 18.7.
Okay.
But
like he has stepped up his offensive game.
Derek White is
like.
also leading the team with 1.1 blocks.
Yeah. Unbelievable. You have that guy take it to another level. Unbelievable.
The fact that he passed Drew Holiday this year.
Yeah.
He was passing Drew Holiday at the end of the season last year, and he definitely, I think, he outperformed Drew Holiday in the finals. But oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard stepping it up. He's averaging more than Drew Holiday of 15 points per game right now.
People used to always say that's the guy who just hits the buzzer beaters, but now, I mean, he's getting great minutes and he's knocking down all of his shots.
Talk about Tatum leading the league, leading his team in points, 30.3, rebounds, 7.6, assists, 4.6, and steals, 1.9.
He's a man on a mission this year. I think it's a little scary. He is on a mission. He's pissed.
He's in my top 5 for MVP, which I will give an MVP ranking here coming up because there's a couple guys I want to talk about.
Yep. Well, let's move into that discussion. Let's talk about our first guy here. He is on your fantasy team, Matt. I don't know who let him get you.
He has the most fantasy points in the league right now.
And and this guy, we talked about him a little bit. This team has had a good start to the year. They had a tough loss to the Pistons tonight. But besides that, they've been playing well.
They lost. I didn't even see that. It's kind of funny.
But that man, Matt, is Anthony Davis.
Leading the league in points.
Yep.
He's averaging 31.3, 31.8 points per game right now. He is also averaging 12 rebounds per game right now. Man is just a fucking menace. He is doing so good. I'm not a Lakers fan by any means, but I drafted him. I had to follow him. I gotta trust my guy. But even tonight, man, he had 37 points.
Oh my god!
9 rebounds and 4 assists, and no blocks tonight. But he's still like I think he's top in blocks. No, I think he's averaging like 2 blocks per game or something like that.
You know, year in, year out, this guy has shown his dominance on both sides of the floor, and this year has been no different. It is unbelievable. And I honestly think one of the big reasons why he's able to do this production, at least on the offensive side of the floor, is playing alongside LeBron, where LeBron is in his career right now as a facilitator.
Yeah.
That pick and roll game is insane. You can literally just throw the ball up anywhere and AD is going to lob that shit.
He's so efficient now.
Yeah, he is so efficient. I think that's one of the top pick and roll games in the league when you have AD. It's scary. He's always in the running for DPOY. He's always in the running for MVP. If he stays healthy, that's just his main thing. If he can stay healthy, he is always in the running for MVP.
2.3 blocks per game right now. 1.3 steals per game right now as well.
There's someone who averages 3.3 blocks per game right now.
Yeah. Most improved player of the year.
Exactly.
Chet Holmgren, baby. He was... I kind of already went on a rant about Chet earlier, but holy shit. This man is looking like he's looking like a different being. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to highlight. Highlight the Spurs versus Oklahoma City Thunder game where Victor Wembanyama got his career low 6 points off 1 field goal and 4 free throws. Yeah, that's all I need to say. And Chet got 19 points that game, got 4 blocks that game, and he barely even played the third and fourth quarter because they were killing them. It was insane. Oh my god! And then of course Wemby had to pop off the next game against the Jazz, but doing the 5 steals, 5 blocks, and about 27 points or something like that.
Yeah.
Which all respect to Wemby. I'm not saying he's bad by any means, but
Chet has won the matchup kind of battle.
He won the first matchup last year.
Yeah.
Wemby won the second matchup last year when they played. I think they played 3 times, but so far right now, Chet has the upper hand right now. One, he has a way better team, which helps him so much, but Chet is being such a contributor. I talk about him not even having Isaiah Hartenstein out there for him, where our backups for center right now coming in is playing small balls, Usman Dang, which Usman's really stepped it up this year, but that's a whole other story. But we don't have no big guys coming in. Chet's just absolutely killing it. He's leading. He's top. He's averaging over 10 rebounds a game right now too. He's just killing it. And but go back to MVP talk.
Sorry, let's go back to MVP talk. Let's talk a few more guys. Sorry, I just had to throw that block number in there.
I'm gonna talk about my guy Shea. I swear to God, this is not just another Thunder thing, but Shea is absolutely killing it once again. Stepping up night in, night out. Not very efficient from shooting right now. The team is not super efficient, but obviously, like I said, it doesn't matter. Our fucking team is insane because of the defensive part of it is just going off. But this Shea is still picked up right where he left last season, and he's averaging 6.5 assists, 26.5 points, and he's not stopping. It's not showing signs of slowing down. He's averaging 1.2 blocks right now too, along with 1.8 steals, and he was leading the league in steals last year. So I think he'll still get back up there, but it's actually hard to do that when you have J-Dubs averaging 2 steals per game. You have Caruso getting so many steals. We're averaging 13.3 steals as a team a game right now, which is insane. You have J-Dubs averaging 2. You have Lou Dort averaging 1.2. Aaron Wiggins averaging 1. Casey Wallace averaging 1.8. Caruso averaging 1.8. But anyways, Shea's still an MVP in my opinion. But right now, AD has the upper hand.
Yep.
And who was the other guy I was talking about for MVP?
Who else do we got up there? Who are other contenders?
We were talking about, who did I say before AD? It was another guy. Oh, well, Tatum.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Tatum.
obviously. Yeah, with the way that guy's playing right now, he is definitely a candidate. Don't know if I would say Jokic right now, just with the way the Nuggets are playing.
No, it's not his fault. He's still top 5 in scoring, 29.8 points per game right now. He's averaging 12.3 rebounds. He's averaging 9.8 assists. He's almost averaging triple-double again.
There's no slowing down with that guy.
And he's super efficient, but MVP comes with a successful team, and you're not there right now, but absolutely, you've had some close games. It's not like you guys have been blown out by any means.
Right.
So I know that was going to be a topic. I know we scratched it, but let's talk about it real quick. Is it too soon to talk about Nuggets? Like not
being a contender,
not doing good right now.
I want to give it some time because we're only 7 games in. But I mean, you kind of just look at the overall roster. One thing that I think sticks out to me is just their maybe lack of or loss of 3-point shooters. They don't have any guys who are like MPJ 3-point shooter.
Yeah, he's injured right now, right? No, he's playing.
I think he's playing. Jamal Murray, is he a good, can he stay consistent from 3-point shooting?
Aaron Gordon,
can he stay consistent from 3-point shooting? Jokic can. So that's a question. Can they stay
Russ cannot
consistent?
Be a 3-point shooter. You cannot rely on Russ. I love you, Russ, but you can't rely on that.
Yeah, you lost guys like KCP.
KCP was huge for them.
Huge 3-point shooter.
We talked about it. I think they need to just change. I think coach needs to really just change his coaching philosophy a little bit with what he has.
You have to adjust, new team, new guys, got to be a new system.
Not even that big. Christian Braun's really stepped up.
He has been playing well.
Hold on. I love the fact that they played, was it the T-Wolves?
Oh, yeah.
And had this massive dunk on
Rudy
Gobert. And it was so funny. And Russ got up in his face, and it was just such a good time.
I would pay money to see Russ just sock him in the face.
Yeah, I would pay Steven Adams.
I'd pay Steven Adams $20 to sock him in the face too.
So earlier in the week, Joe Mazzulla had a funny quote saying that they should allow fighting in the NBA just to see where things go. Just kind of let people do their thing. And it was hilarious because Steven Adams commented on that Bleacher Report quote and said $20 and I'll sock Rudy Gobert in the nose. And they deleted the comment, but he posted on a story that got deleted. It was hilarious. But anyways, but the Nuggets, it's too soon. But one thing that's really interesting to me I want to pay attention to is the top 3 seeds from last year was Oklahoma City Thunder, Minnesota Timberwolves, Denver Nuggets. And they're all within a game of getting that number 1 seed. Now you have both the Denver Nuggets and T-Wolves tied for 10th spot right now at 3-3 at 500. Obviously, it's way too early, but they're showing signs of struggling. And we mentioned with the T-Wolves, they're going to have a coaching adjustment that they're going to have to make. Chris Finch was going to have to do that. And it's not working out in their favor quite yet. And I think they're starting to get there, but they have a negative 1.2 differential, and it's not looking great for them. And then the Nuggets, Jokic is doing everything he can. Jokic is
trying,
perfect,
man. He's trying.
But another thing, I think you need to make coaching adjustments. Russell Westbrook had a horrible start, which didn't help them either. but he's got the player of the game the last 2 games, right?
Yep.
So for them, or their personal player of the game, they have
Yep.
their own little chain they hang out. But so you just gotta let Russ get warmed up, but you can't rely on Russ to come off the bench. As much as I love him, at this point in his career, you can't just rely on him to make that difference. And I think Russ needs to kind of take another look, which he's starting to do in these last few games. But he needs help on the assist game and just help Jokic spread the ball out. You know, he used to be so good at that back when he was in Houston and Washington and in Oklahoma City. And so I think he just needs to help create some room. And I want to see prime time. I think what would really help the Nuggets is when Russ comes off the bench, you have Jokic in there. Or even with Christian Braun, I want to see Russ driving back to the hoop, but not necessarily going for the layup, but pick and pop. You know, he can drive just like Shea. I want to see it just like the Thunder do right now. Drive to the hoop and create some room because people are going to try to block Russ no matter what. Create that room, get Jokic open, and Jokic get an easy mid-round shot there. So,
I think
that's one part of that's only 2 players. Obviously, there's a whole thing they need to figure out, but lots of coaching adjustments they're starting to make, but they need to make more.
Yeah, I think it might take some time with Russ, but he'll figure it out. But if he figures it out, things start clicking. It'll be really nice. One last quick thing, you know, I was scrutinizing their 3-point shooting or maybe possibly lack of, and then you go look at all the stats, and these guys are still top 6 in scoring, top 6 in 3-pointers, top 5 in assists and rebounds. So they're still playing defense. Well. I think it's exactly.
They're not a top defensive. They're not a top defensive team.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So that might be where the issue lays currently.
Yeah. So I think them, just because they didn't change that much, I think there's just some glaring needs to their defensive game. And so
I think I agree with you. I think a lot of it has to do with just changing up the coaching style, or not the coaching style, but just changing up the style of the team.
Yeah.
When you have new players, you got to kind of try new things and switch it up.
I mean, Russ is averaging 2 steals a game right now.
Yep.
They're only averaging 9 steals a game for as a team. They're only averaging 4 blocks a game for the team as well, which is not very good numbers. Jokic isn't even doing that really good in the blocking game. He's averaging a block a game, but their leading blocker right now is Christian Braun. I don't know, but I think there's a little bit of defensive lacking there, obviously because they're scoring a lot, but they're just everybody's scoring more than them. So
right,
they just need to figure it out. I think just give them time. I'm not worried about them yet.
Yep.
So
as we said, this is what we live for, Matt. This is the thick of it for us. Coming up in the league, we got the in-season tournament starting up next week, now called the NBA Cup.
The Emirates
NBA Cup. We'll have group play games on Tuesdays and Fridays for the month of November, and then December will be the knockout rounds. So that, definitely brought some excitement into the league last year, especially the knockout rounds. So it should again.
Yeah.
And we got a lot more to talk about. We got to review the Cat trade. We got to talk about both those teams. A lot more to talk about.
If you're curious on how the NBA Cup works a little bit, go back to our last season. We went in depth to understand, because it was the first time last year. We did an episode where we're really in depth on the NBA Cup. Last year, the Lakers were the first ones to win it. This year, who knows?
We'll see.
They did not get rid of those ugly ass courts, but here we are. But the winners will go back to Vegas again. Had some cool commercials for it and everything like that. I'm actually really excited. I was very skeptical of it last season, but it brought a lot of hype and it brought a lot of money. So, and it was actually really competitive. But also, like I said, whoever wins it doesn't mean shit. Lakers did not do good in the playoffs last year.
No, they did not.
So,
no, they did not.
It's a great thing to win. It's extra money for everybody in that team. Yeah. But I just want to mention that real quick. And then one other thing to mention is, I know we're mostly NBA, but today is the first day of college basketball hoops, baby.
Let's go.
So right now, my Zags are playing Baylor. It's a top 10 matchup, and I'm super stoked for that. But don't have anything set up for this podcast as far as NCAA basketball comes, but I'm excited. So keep on the lookout for that.
We always love college basketball, baby.
Huge for that.
Great time of the year.
Also, the Cougs are brand new. It's also really weird seeing a WCC patch on their jerseys now.
Yeah.
But they're playing also in the WCC with Gonzaga. And so they are playing Portland State tonight. So that'll be interesting to see as well.
Yes,
so
sir.
Keep an eye out for those guys. I'm excited.
like we said, it's been such an exciting start to the season, Matt. There's so much to talk about. We love being able to have this platform to talk about it. So thank you all for the support. We always appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
We will be back soon to discuss more ongoing news. In the meantime, take a look back at our other episodes if you want.
Go on our socials, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Go check out YouTube. Check us on TikTok now. I'll have all the links in our Instagram page. I kind of run things mostly out of that, but give us some support, like, comment, subscribe, and then YouTube. Enter. We're gonna probably put a pull up for the Spotify episode. Go down and do that as well. Interact, share us, do whatever you can. We appreciate the love, guys.
Yes, sir. Until next time.
Bank is closed.
Peace.